Have you ever felt like your focus just disappears when you need it the most? You sit down to work, you clear your desk, you write your to-do list, you open your laptop, you silence your phone, you start your Pomodoro timer, you do everything right, and yet your mind wanders to that email you forgot to reply to what you'll have for lunch, to the project that still haunts you from last week. You try harder, you block distractions, you light a candle, you put on your favorite lo-fi playlist, you make a fresh cup of coffee, but deep inside, you're still scattered, still overwhelmed, still not here. Here's the truth. Most people think focus is about effort, push harder, try longer, eliminate more distractions. But Jim Rohn taught me something different, something radical, something simple. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Read that again. Not hacks, not apps, not miracles, just simple disciplines practiced every day. Because focus isn't just a mental trick. It's not about willpower. It's a reflection of your philosophy. If your philosophy says, do everything perfectly, you will drown in perfectionism. If your philosophy says, be available to everyone, you will fracture your attention. If your philosophy says, work until you break, you will never feel rested enough to think clearly. But what if your philosophy said something else? What if it whispered, what deserves my deepest attention today? Not everything, not everyone, just the few things that truly matter. Today, I don't want to teach you how to focus better. I want to help you rebuild your focus from the inside out, through philosophy, through alignment, through clarity. Because when you align your daily philosophy, your focus follows naturally. So in this talk, we're not chasing hacks, we're creating anchors, mental anchors, identity anchors, the kind that hold your attention steady, even in the storm. And we begin with one powerful question. What philosophy is shaping your focus today? Let's go deeper. Let's reset the lens. Let's rebuild your focus, one belief at a time. Let's be honest. Most of us don't lose focus because we're lazy, or because we're not trying hard enough. We lose focus because we never built the inner system to hold it. You know the feeling. You wake up, you plan your day, you make a list, you promise yourself, today I will stay focused. Today I will get things done. And then the first notification comes in. A browser tab pulls you somewhere else. A random thought distracts you. And before you realize it, it's evening. Your to-do list is still full, but your energy, gone. And it happens again and again. You blame yourself. You say, I need better tools, more discipline, less distraction. But the real problem isn't the world outside you, it's the architecture within you. Here's what we rarely talk about. Focus is not an app. It's not a timer. It's not a setting on your phone. Focus is a philosophy. If you don't believe your attention matters deeply, you won't protect it. If you don't have a reason to focus, you'll always drift. If you don't design a belief system around why you do what you do, you'll always feel scattered. Let me give you a visual. Imagine a giant wooden door. Behind it is your dream life, your best work, your deepest contribution. But in front of the door are people, messages, demands, everyone shouting your name. And here's the worst part. Most of us don't just stop to talk to every distraction. We invite them in. We hold the door open. Why? Because we confuse noise with importance. We confuse urgency with meaning. And yet, somewhere deep inside, we know something is off. We feel busy but empty, productive but unfulfilled, exhausted but unaccomplished. We scroll for hours but still feel like we missed something. We answer emails but don't remember why we started. And that's because we're trying to borrow focus from the outside instead of building it from the inside. Jim Rohn said it best, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Let that sink in. We're wishing for fewer distractions. What we need is a deeper reason to stay centered. Here's a deeper truth. Focus is not something you wait for. It's something you choose. Daily. Consciously. Relentlessly. But why is it so hard to choose? Because we haven't defined why we work. We haven't defined what truly matters. We haven't made peace with what we can let go. So we chase everything and catch nothing. You can install all the focus apps. You can buy all the planners. You can set 1,000 reminders. But if your inner belief still says, I need to be everything for everyone, I must respond immediately, I can't miss out, then no tool will save you, because tools follow beliefs, and beliefs shape your behavior. So let's name the hidden beliefs stealing your focus. 1. If I rest, I'll fall behind. 2. If I say no, I'll disappoint people. 3. If I'm not busy, I'm not valuable. These thoughts are not just distractions. They are viruses in your mental system. They run quietly in the background and crash your clarity when you need it most. So what's the solution? You don't need more effort. You need a better philosophy. Let me repeat, you don't need more pressure. You need alignment. Alignment between what you believe and how you behave. Because when your philosophy is clear, your focus becomes inevitable. So ask yourself, what belief am I living by each morning? Is it designed to protect my attention or scatter it? What are the first 10 minutes of my day telling me about what I value? Who do I check in with first, my inbox or my inner compass? This isn't about guilt. This is about design. Designing a philosophy that supports your energy, that guards your clarity, that guides your day. And when you do that, focus is no longer a fight. It's a flow, a calm presence, a returning home. So stop blaming your brain, stop fighting your attention span, start questioning the architecture you've been building on. Because when you change the blueprint, you change the building. And when you shift your foundation, your focus will follow every single day. Let's pause for a moment. Because this is the turning point, the moment we stop blaming our schedule and start questioning our system. Jim Rohn said something that reshaped the way I see focus. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Let that sink in. You don't get from dream to reality by thinking harder. You get there by crossing the bridge, and that bridge is built with discipline. But here's what Jim meant and what most people miss. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is not rigidity. Discipline is design. It's a lifestyle of choosing what matters again and again until your identity matches your intention. So what does this have to do with focus? Everything. Because focus isn't a moment of clarity, it's a system of choices. And the root of that system is philosophy. Your philosophy is your inner software. It's the silent set of beliefs that runs your daily behavior. It decides what gets your attention, what deserves your energy, what you ignore, what you pursue. So if you want to rebuild your focus, you must first rewrite your philosophy. Let me share 3 core philosophies that changed my ability to stay focused, not just for an hour, but for a lifetime. 1. Focus is not found. It's created. Most people think focus is a moment you enter into, like a zone, or a mood, or a state. But Jim taught me, focus is not a state you stumble into. It's a decision you design for. You don't wake up and hope to focus. You train for it. You build rituals, you build rhythms, you build environments that support attention. Let me ask you, where do you place your phone when you work? What music plays in your background? What thought begins your morning? These are not small details. They are the bricks of your bridge. They are the architecture of focus. So shift this belief from, I hope I can focus today, to, I design my space to support what matters. Write that down. I design for focus. I don't wait for it. 2. Your focus flows where your philosophy goes. What you focus on is what you believe matters, and what you believe matters is shaped by your inner narrative. If your philosophy says productivity equals self-worth, you will never allow yourself to rest. If your philosophy says I must say yes to everything, you will never have the space for deep work. If your philosophy says urgency always wins, you will always abandon the important for the immediate. So how do you shift? You build a new story, a new philosophy that protects your energy and reclaims your time. Jim once said, don't major in minor things. Let that be your mantra. Let that guide your calendar. Let that shape your yes, and especially your no. What if you lived by this philosophy? I protect my highest attention for my highest purpose. How would your days change? How would your tasks filter? How would your boundaries shift? Write that line somewhere visible. I protect my attention as a sacred resource. Because what you don't protect, you will eventually lose. Every time you keep a promise to your attention, you reinforce a new identity. Jim Rohn often reminded us, success is not magic, it's not luck, it's the result of a few simple disciplines practiced daily. That means every small act of attention matters. Every time you silence a distraction, every time you return to the task, every time you stay with a thought, you're not just finishing a project, you're building a person, you. Think of it this way. When you choose focus, you reinforce a belief. I am someone who finishes. I am someone who protects clarity. I am someone who follows through. That belief becomes a habit. That habit becomes a rhythm. That rhythm becomes your identity. So start small. Start with 5 minutes. Start with a morning ritual. Start with one promise. For the next 10 minutes, I will give my full attention to one thing, and do it again and again. And one day, you won't just have focus, you will become focus. Let me bring it all together now. Focus is not about eliminating every distraction. It's about aligning with your deepest philosophy. When your beliefs support your attention, you don't fight for clarity. You flow into it. So here are the shifts to take with you. 1. Focus is not found. It's created by design. 2. Your focus flows where your philosophy goes. 3. Every time you keep a promise to your attention, you build identity. This is how Jim Rohn saw the world, not through the lens of quick hacks, but through the quiet power of philosophy. Because when philosophy is strong, strategy becomes easy. And when your inner system is clear, your focus, it becomes inevitable. So ask yourself, what am I building with my attention today? What bridge am I walking across? And more importantly, who am I becoming by where I place my focus? Let that question guide you. Let that question anchor you. Let that question rebuild you. From philosophy comes focus. From focus comes a fulfilled life. Now that we've understood the roots of focus, it's time to bring it home. Because insight without practice is just noise. So let's turn this from theory to rhythm, from inspiration to action, from concept to daily design. Jim Rohn believed the major key to your better future is you, and that means daily choices. Simple, repeatable, sustainable. I want to give you 3 small practices today. They don't require willpower. They don't need apps or gadgets, just honesty, intention, and follow through. They are anchors to bring you back, to remind you who you are, to rebuild your philosophy of focus, one breath at a time. Let's begin. 1 morning anchor. 1 question to set the compass. Each morning when you wake up, there's a tiny window before the world enters your mind, a sacred space, before the email, before the news, before the noise. This is your moment of power, and how you use it shapes your day. So here's the practice. Before you check anything, ask 1 question. What deserves my deepest attention today? Not what's urgent, not what's screaming, but what's worthy. Because focus isn't just about doing the work. It's about doing the right work for the right reasons. Write that question on a sticky note. Put it next to your bed. Use it as your phone wallpaper. Let it be the first voice you hear. This 1 question will do something powerful. It brings your philosophy into your calendar. It reminds you, today is not about finishing everything. It's about moving what matters. So pause, ask, write it down, and begin from clarity, not from chaos. 2. 1-minute reset. Return to your inner room. The day will get messy. You will forget. You will drift. That's normal. But what matters is the return, not the perfection, the return. So here's your second practice. Set 1 cue in your day, a moment of reset. For example, after lunch, before your afternoon meeting, right before you open your laptop. In that moment, sit, close your eyes, take 1 deep breath, and ask, what am I truly trying to build today? This is not meditation. This is design. You're reactivating your blueprint, your why, your intention. Because in a world of noise, attention requires renewal. You don't recharge by escaping. You recharge by remembering. So choose your moment, set a reminder, and let this 1-minute reset bring you back to yourself. 3. Evening closure. Reflect, record, refocus. The day is done. The tasks are either finished or unfinished. The light is fading, and most people just scroll, distract, disconnect, but not you, not anymore. Your evening becomes your mirror, your journal, your moment of authorship. Here's the third practice. Before bed, ask yourself, where did my focus go today? Write down one honest line, not a novel, not a performance, just one sentence of truth. Examples: I focused on what mattered. I got pulled by urgency. I stayed calm in chaos. I drifted, but I returned. This is more than journaling. This is recoding your nervous system. You're not just remembering, you're reclaiming. Each line becomes a footprint, a pattern, a path. And over time, you'll begin to see, focus is not luck. It's not talent. It's not motivation. It's relationship with yourself, with your beliefs, with your intention. So reflect, record, refocus. Let your day end with authorship, not autopilot. Putting it all together. Let's review your daily focus practice. Morning anchor, ask, what deserves my deepest attention today? 2. 1-minute reset. Ask, what am I truly trying to build today? 3. Evening closure. Ask, where did my focus go today? You can write these down, or you can build them into your habits. What matters is that they become real, not someday, but today. This is not about adding more to your plate. This is about removing what doesn't serve. This is not about doing more. It's about becoming more present with what you already do. Jim Rohn said, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. These are your disciplines, gentle, repeatable, transformational. So build them, return to them, let them become your rhythm. Because when rhythm leads, resistance fades. And when you live by design, you don't just stay focused, you become unshakable. Let today be your beginning. Let tonight be your reset. Let tomorrow be the proof of your new philosophy. You are not scattered. You are not broken. You are not lazy. You are becoming. And becoming requires rhythm. So ask, return, reflect every day, every breath, every choice that is focused by design. We've come a long way. From the noise back to clarity. From scattered days to aligned design. You've asked hard questions. You've reflected deeply. You've seen where your focus has been lost, not from lack of tools, but from lack of alignment. And now, it's your turn to decide, to design, to declare a new way of living. Jim Rohn said, if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. So this is not about motivation, it's about movement from within. I want you to make a choice today, a small one, but a real one. A choice that reclaims your time, your clarity, your soul. It starts with a line, not a slogan, but a declaration. I invite you to write this down, on a note, on your wall, in your journal, or just in your heart. Here it is. Focus is not a state, it's a choice. Daily. Say it again, with breath, with belief, with boldness. Focus is not a state, it's a choice daily. This is not about being perfect, it's about being present. It's not about controlling every minute, it's about coming back again and again. So ask yourself, is your philosophy supporting your focus or stealing it? Are you reacting to life or designing it? Are you living from noise or from knowing? From pressure or from principle? Because here's the truth, you don't need to find more time. You need to choose what matters. You don't need another hack. You need a home base, a personal compass that guides your energy, not drains it. And that compass is your philosophy. So today, I want to give you an invitation, not a command, not a to-do, but a whisper that becomes a rhythm. I want you to write one line, only you will see. And here it is. I choose to design my philosophy and let it lead my life. Not someday, not when you're less busy, not when you feel more ready. Now, today. Because your philosophy is not something you figure out, it's something you live into. So let me offer you one final frame, something I return to every time I feel lost. When the world is loud, return to your rhythm. When your day is full, return to your breath. When you feel scattered, return to your center. Let that be your practice. Let that be your reminder. Let that be your revolution. Because in a world built to distract you, the most radical act you can do is to remember who you are and live from that place every day. So let's end this not with noise, but with stillness. Let's end with a decision, a breath, a line that brings you home. Focus is not a state, it's a choice, daily. I choose to design my philosophy and let it lead my life. And if this message spoke to you, write this in the comments or whisper it to yourself. Today, I choose clarity. This is your moment. This is your rhythm. This is your design. Let the world keep rushing. You return. Back to breath, back to belief, back to focus. This is the beginning.